Hi, good evening, everyone. How are you all? Am I audible? Please
Yes.
type. Great. Thank you. Thank you. Good evening. Okay, guys. So thank you. Okay, let's start. Let's not wait much. Okay, guys. So good evening, and I welcome you all to the class and the webinar class of our postgraduate certification program in clinical research and project management, and class of the regulatory affairs, clinical monitoring audits, and inspections and clinical trials as well. So I welcome all the students, all the participants who showed the interest in these two courses and webinar. So thank you for joining, guys. And today, as this is the induction class for our new batch of regulatory affairs, clinical monitoring audits, and inspections and clinical trials. And this is the 7th class for our postgraduate certificate program people. So guys, I'll be today talking about the regulatory affairs normally, as this is the new thing, new domain what we are starting today for our PG program guys, and for our regulatory affairs course guys. And we'll be talking about the career opportunities in regulatory affairs as well. So we'll be covering a basic about regulatory affairs and the career opportunities, the career hierarchies, and what are the companies hire the regulatory affairs people, regulatory affairs professionals, right, guys? So we are going to discuss a few things, about the career opportunities majorly today, like what are the applications of regulatory affairs, what are the responsibility of the regulatory affairs people, and the companies which hire the regulatory affairs professionals and all. Okay, and the hierarchies in the company. So let me share my screen, and this is the induction program as well for our course. So let me share the screen, guys. Yeah, I hope it is visible to all, everyone. Okay. Let me make it full screen. Okay. Yes, perfect, wonderful. So module 1 for regulatory affairs guys, and module 7 for our PG program people, right guys? So let's start. So as I was telling, today is the induction program as well, induction program for this course, the 4 weeks online basic certificate in regulatory affairs, clinical monitoring, audit and inspections, and clinical trials. And this is the entire part of our PG program, ongoing PG program. Our ongoing PG program students are already in the course, and they are studying this entire course, entire syllabus what you are going to cover in next 4 weeks. So that is their proper course syllabus for them, right? So here we'll be taking 7 classes. So today I'll be talking about the basics, and I'll be talking about the career opportunities, and then next 2 classes will be technical about regulatory affairs, what are the IND submissions and all, CTD monitoring and CTD report submissions, ECTDs and all, everything. Okay, and then in last 3-4 classes you will be covering the clinical monitoring, audits and inspections and clinical trials. Okay, so guys, there are a lot of things to discuss. So as we are taking the induction class, if your friends and your colleagues and your classmates, if anyone is interested and anyone who is attending this live for this course, you can register today as well. Okay, everyone to please shut your mics. Please keep off your mics, everyone. Okay, otherwise we will switch your mics off from our side for everyone. Right. So I was telling that if someone is interested even today, as today we are starting this course, so anyone can register. So you can convey my message to your friends, your colleagues, your classmates, that if they are interested in joining this course, they can definitely join. And this is like nothing. The fees is just 499 rupees, and this is a certification course, so you will be getting the certificates as well. So let's start with the regulatory affairs. First of all, what is regulatory affairs, guys? So as we can see here, every one of you might be reading. I hope you all are from M Farm, Web B Farm, and healthcare professions, healthcare streams. So you might be knowing regulatory affairs. So regulatory affairs is let me explain you in my way. So when you talk about clinical trials, when you talk about clinical research, clinical research has multiple domains. Clinical research has like site management, ethical approvals, ethical guidelines, and what we say, the protocol submissions and approvals, and site monitorings and site management, clinical trial management. Okay, the protocol development, protocol submissions, multiple things are there, and there are CRAs, there are sponsors, there are the site managers or investigators. Multiple stakeholders are involved, and multiple responsibilities are there, multiple activities are involved in clinical research. So one of the key component of the clinical research is regulatory affairs. Okay, as we say that people are coming to the site, they are managing the site, they are auditing, they are monitoring how the clinical trials are going on, how these clinical trials are being conducted, and how people are distributing the drugs to the patients, how they are recruiting the patients, if they are recruiting ethically or not. Okay, how they are reporting the clinical trials, and multiple things are there. So similarly, regulatory affairs is also very important part. Okay, so regulatory affairs for the pharmaceutical products refers to the discipline and the process, discipline and the process involved in ensuring the compliance with applicable regulations, guidelines, and laws. Okay, so regulations means regulatory affairs, as you can see by name. Regulations means what? Regulations means compliance to the regulations or compliance to the rules. Okay, whatever rules are made, like from the starting of the clinical trial, from the starting of a clinical research, first you have to go into the protocol. Protocol must be compliance to multiple bodies or multiple guidelines, like GCP, good clinical practices, good manufacturing practices, good documentation practices, GCP, GMP, GDP. There are multiple guidelines. What the investigators, the sites, the sponsors, everyone should be compliant to that. Everyone should be following all the rules and regulations. When you conduct the clinical trials, after approvals, then you have to take multiple approvals from, like in India there are bodies, and outside, if you are doing in Europe, if you are doing in Japan, if you are doing in America, there are multiple bodies. There are governing bodies which makes the rules and regulations and guidelines to conduct these clinical trials. And not only that, to monitor those things. Okay, like from the development stage to post marketing surveillance, there are rules and regulations which must be followed. Okay, which must be followed. So every stakeholder, whether they are PI, whether they are sponsors, whether they are sites, whether they are anyone, they all have to compliant to these rules and regulations. So the companies, the industries, anyone, they have the specific department of regulatory affairs which takes care of these regulations, guidelines, and laws in these laws are for development of the protocol, development of the clinical trial, development of the clinical research, then approvals, then manufacturing, and then marketing as well. How products should be labeled, how the products should be marketed, what should be the prices, multiple things. So everything will be regulated. Okay, everything will be regulated properly. And then the post marketing surveillance as well. Post marketing surveillance is there are any faults in the product, if how the product is going in the market. So the market flow and market research, entire thing is done by the by the regulatory affairs department. Okay guys, so that is how the regulatory affairs work. So here you can easily understand. Let me show you the pointers help. Starting from the research to the commercialization of the product, applications of the regulatory affair department. So first is clinical trial applications. Okay, how the clinical trial applications will go, what would be the phases, what would be the drugs, what would be the the chemical entity which will be coming as a drug, or the patient's clinical trial phases, where it will be conducted, how it will be conducted, the entire clinical trial development. Okay, and then development strategies. Okay, then if it is pediatric, in vulnerable populations as well, if it is in elderly patients, if it is in pregnant women, if it is in children, if it is in army personals, if it is in bank personals, if it is in certain other diseased patients, or certain other patients who are having multiple complications or what. So they are they have to follow all the compliance, they have to follow all the guidelines which are relevant to them, and you have to follow them in the clinical development strategy as only. Okay, so these all comes under the GCP guidelines. Okay, as we have conducted multiple seminars and webinars on GCP, good clinical trial, good clinical practices guidelines, ICH GCP guidelines, international conference of harmonization guidelines, ICH GCP guidelines. Recently they have launched their R2 E6 E7 they have launched. Okay, so after multiple years, after many years, they have launched their new guidelines. So we have to get compliant to GCP guidelines in the research phase. And then once the research is done, research means all the phases of research, not only the simple, I'm talking about that is the entire clinical development, entire drug development is included in this phase 0, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, and then post marketing surveillance is everything. Okay, that covers everything and everywhere, from submission of application, to the regulatory bodies, to the report submission. Report submission will be done once everything is done, once all the clinical trial participants are involved and all the drugs are distributed properly, followed up, and then the reports will be coming at the end and will be submitted to the regulatory affairs for the approvals. Okay, so that approval starts with the submission strategy. Like, what should be the submission strategy, what should be the documents, and if the documentation has been done properly during the research phase or not. So the entire thing will be strategized by the team. Entire thing will be taken care by the team, and then that team will be preparing the dossiers. Okay, that the entire documentation, entire file of the documents of which we have got from the research will be called as a dossier, and the dossier will be submitted for the for the approvals to the regulatory bodies. Okay, for the approval to the regulatory bodies, and then under all the all the inspections will be done, everything, the data inspections, site inspections, everything will be done by the regulatory bodies, and they will be going through all the data, they'll be monitoring the data, they'll be taking care of the side effects, side impacts, and impact on the society. Multiple things will be checked in that in this phase. And once they are ready, once they think that okay, now this research has been done properly, and now this product or this drug can be launched to the market for public, then they approve it. Okay, regulatory bodies approve it. So the entire thing is taken care by right now regulatory affair department. Now it comes to the commercialization. Once a product is out, suppose your medicine is out, so what would be there? Suppose one drug has come out for the heart failure, or some drug has come out for the diabetes, SGLT2 inhibitors, dapagliflozin and all. So these drugs were actually for the I'm giving an example here. So SGLT2 inhibitors like dapagliflozin and all, these were for the diabetes treatment. Okay, how regulatory affair department works in the commercialization phase I'm talking about. Okay, so these drugs are actually made for the diabetes, right? But now they are supplied into the market. They are taken by the patients, they are taken by the population, they are distributed to the population. I mean, based on the indication, definitely, as these are these are their indications are diabetes. So SGLT2 inhibitors are given to the diabetic patients. But diabetic patients who had heart failure itself, they got a drastic improvement after getting SGLT2 inhibitors. Got my point? When these diabetic patients with heart failure were taking the SGLT2 inhibitors, they got the improvement in the heart failure as well. Heart failure means their sign and symptoms, their lifestyle, their health related quality of life got improved, and the ejection fraction also got improved with the help of SGLT2 inhibitors. So the regulatory affairs department has the keen observations. They have the sharp eyes on the market, how the drug is doing in the market. Okay, they have launched for the indication called diabetes mellitus, but now the drug is working very well in the patients of heart failure as well, right? So this is the phase here, clinical development strategies for the new indications, right? Now the drug has come up with the new indication. So again, the entire thing will be taken care by regulatory affairs department. They will be developing the approvals, they will be developing the entire clinical trial into the new indication patients, and then they will be launching again with certain documentations to the approval for new indication. So that is also the work of regulatory affairs department, regulatory affairs professionals. Okay, and then advertising of the product and inputs from the input into the variations and renewal strategies, like how to renew the licenses and all multiple things, those will be covered also here. Okay, and then submission into the other markets. Suppose the drug has been launched in the Indian market right now. Okay, suppose the drug has been launched in the Indian market and it has been very successfully successfully working, successfully doing the market in India. Now they want to launch in European market. Now they want to do in want to supply to the European populations. So how it will work? Now the medical affairs department has to prepare, has to first go through the European guidelines, European regulations, and then they have to strategizing the entire thing for the European market. Not only the single thing, but including some clinical trials if it is needed, or submission of the clinical trial documentation, going for the approvals in EU market, right? And then if they're thinking of Japan, they will go to the Japan. They will be submitting their documentation for clinical trial submissions, for dossier submissions for the approval in Japan. Similarly in US, I mean, multiple, wherever you want to go for, right? So submissions in the other markets also will be taken care by the regulatory affairs. So this is the cycle of a drug or cycle of a regulatory affairs people in the clinical research. And then if there are reclassifications of the product, suppose they have launched for, as I was giving the example of SGLT2 inhibitors, they have launched it for diabetes, but now they got the new indication for heart failure, and after some time they feel that this drug was actually not anti-diabetic, this is for the heart failure treatment. So the reclassification of the drug, reclassification of the product can be done later as well, and that there are certain things, certain regulations which have to be followed. Again, the submissions of the documentation to the regulatories, and that can be done by the regulatory affairs department. And then product withdrawal, if there are some certain side effects or side impacts, or the people are facing trouble because of the drug, because of the medical device or anything. See, regulatory affairs does not include only the drugs, guys. It includes cosmetics, it includes medical devices, all pharma products. Okay, all pharma and medical products, all pharma and medical products come under the regulatory affairs. They have to go through the regulatory affairs, have to go through the regulatory department. Okay, and they all have to follow the regulations. Okay, that is very important. So not only the new drug development or new drug clinical trials, even the cosmetics, even the medical devices, even the procedures, even the new procedures, new technologies, everything has to be approved by the regulations or regulatory bodies in different companies or different countries, or different areas, states. That's very important. So the regulatory affairs department in any company or any CRO or any KPOs, they work on this documentation, right? I'll be telling how you can apply, how you can go, what are the job responsibilities, what are the applications of these and all you can do, as actually we have discussed here, but I'll be briefing again in the next slides. I hope you got it. Now before I go further, guys, before I go further, I want to ask you, okay, I want to ask you a few questions. So what is the regulatory body for pharma products in India, and what is the regulatory body for pharma products or the drug development in Europe? I did not say the name before till now, so you have to tell me. And in US and in
SEDESCO.
yes, please.
In India it is SEDESCO, Central
In India, it
Standard
is the
Control
central.
Organization.
Yes, it is. Yes, and USA it is FDA, Food and
FDA.
Drug Administration. Yes. Okay. And in Europe, EMA. Yes,
EMA, European
EMA
Medical
in
Agency.
Europe. Right. Absolutely fantastic. So in the entire for the entire European market, it is EMA. Okay. And for USA, it is FDA. Okay. And for India, it is SEDESCO. Right, guys? Understand? So okay, let's go further. Applications of regulatory affairs. So regulatory affairs in the pharmacy has the wide range of applications that are essential, like to ensure the safety, efficacy, and quality of any pharmaceutical product. So it starts from the first phase, the drug development, as we were discussing. So regulatory affairs professionals are involved in the early stages of the drug development, providing guidance on the regulatory requirements, like when the drug is being developed, the phase from the phase 0, from the starting only, the regulatory people will be telling, okay, you have to do in this direction, so it will be easy to get the approval. Okay, it will be easy to get the approval by the regulatory bodies in India or anywhere. Like if you are talking about India, then it will be easy to get the approvals from SEDESCO, right? So you have to direct the investigators, you have to direct the clinical research team, they have to direct the entire process to understand the normality of that. Yes, I'll be talking about the role of CDR and other things also. Yes. Okay, so this is the exact role, okay, in the drug development. So they also, see, as we can see here, I was talking about providing the guidance on regulatory requirements and strategies to streamline the process. So they have to, they will be guiding the entire team, they will be guiding the drug development team, they will be guiding entire, sites and everyone. Like, okay, you have to process in that way, so it will be easy for all of us to get the approval from SEDESCO or wherever we are, or EMA or FDA or Japanese or what is the name of Japanese organization, guys, for regulatory approvals? Tell me. It's a very fancy name. Tell me. Okay, you write by the time. So and they also assist in preparing and submitting the investigational new drug applications, clinical trial protocols, and other relevant documents to the regulatory authorities during the drug development phase. Okay, and then there is the market authorization. They take care of the market authorization. So there are something called as market authorization applications. Okay, before taking the market authorization, you have to submit the documentation, you have to submit all the documents, and then you will go to the approvals. You will take the approvals, I mean the companies, the product development companies like Novartis and all, whatever they are coming up with the new drugs and all, they have to take the market authorization approvals, and for that they have to submit the market authorization application. So market authorization said regulatory affairs professionals are responsible for preparing and submitting the MMA, so marketing authorization applications to obtain the approvals for pharmaceutical products to be marketed. They compile and review all the necessary data before submission. Okay, if it is compliant to the guidelines or not, if this is according to the guidelines or not. If it is not, then they send back to the team and correct it. Okay, they get everything in the format, so it will not be tough to get the approvals. So it will be complying with the guidelines. Okay, so the people who are sitting in the regulatory bodies, they do not create the trouble, okay, in giving the approval. So market authorization submissions are also the applications of regulatory affair department. Then labeling and packaging also is the part of regulatory affairs. So regulatory affair personnel collaborate with cross-functional teams, entire setup. They take care of the regulations as well, so they have to direct everyone to compliant with the regulations, right? PMDA is Japan, yes. So they have to compliant with the labeling and packaging inserts, because our CDSCO and the other regulatory bodies, they have strict guidelines for the packaging also. Packaging, storage, everything should be in the format. So they have to provide all the documentations, all the the things were followed properly during the development, during the packaging and all, right? So they will be, this will be a kind of cross-functional uh, teamwork, right? This is a cross-functional teamwork where everyone will be guided by the regulatory affairs people, and they'll be helping them in with the clear and accurate instructions. Okay, so if we talk about labeling and packaging insertions, they ensure that the information provided on labels and packagings is clear, accurate, and meets the regulatory requirements, including the indication of the drug, contraindications, warnings, dose instructions, and adverse reaction information. Okay, so they take care of all these things, and they make the teams, or make the entire product compliant to the regulatory bodies. Okay, and then post-marketing compliances, like after the drug is marketed, then regulatory affairs professionals are involved in the post-marketing surveillance and compliance activities. Like they monitor the report adverse reactions, like after monitoring only, when after marketing only, we come to know about the actual scenario of the drugs, actual adverse events of the drugs, when these are being used in the entire population. See, in the clinical trials, the number of what we say, the number of populations, number of the patients and everything is limited. In the phase 2, phase 3, the number of people where we are getting our drug drug trials done, that is limited. But when we are marketing after approvals also, then we get the actual scenario of adverse events in the larger populations. Okay, in the different races, in the different food habits, different geographical areas, then we actually get these adverse events properly. So the regulatory affairs people, they monitor and report the adverse drug reactions, manage the... Guys, am I not audible? I'm getting the comments that I'm not audible.
No, we can hear you.
Okay, if somebody is not able to hear me, please check your network. Yes, I'm audible to people. Please check your network, Bhavna, sorry. Please check your network. Okay, so they monitor all the adverse events, they monitor and they manage all the safety databases. They implement the risk management plans. If these are like if they're getting multiple side effects, or these are, there is actually certain limits of adverse events. So they check the risk benefit ratio, they analyze the risk benefit ratio, and if they find out that risk is quite high, so they go for the withdrawals, and they get multiple things to correct that, right? So their the ultimate goal is to ensure the ongoing safety and efficacy of the pharmaceutical product in the market, right? So that's come that all comes under the post marketing compliance. Okay, and then regulatory intelligence. So regulatory intelligence is something for the companies, for the particular firms which are launching the drug to the market, right, guys? So regulatory intelligence is something they get the keen observations of marketed drug, like in which areas it is going high, where it is supplied more. So based on that, based on the patient's choice, based on the doctor's choice, based on the policies of the hospitals and policies of the regulations for different states. They make the further strategies. And with the help of data which they are getting from the post marketing surveillance, they use in the regulatory intelligence. So keeping abstract of changes in the regulations, guidelines, and policies are very crucial in the regulatory affairs. Okay, so based on that, professionals in the field gather and analyze the information, interpreting how changes may impact the pharmacy practices, drug development strategies, and production registration process. They check everything. They analyze keenly. They analyze very sharply, and based on that, they strategize further about the drug development and marketing of the drug, or the post marketing surveillance as well for the further years or upcoming years based on that. So that is called as regulatory intelligence. That is very important. I'll be taking in the next classes somewhere the regulatory intelligence, one or two for some time we'll be talking about regulatory intelligence. Very important topic. Okay, and then quality assurance. So definitely quality assurance means if the plants or the facilities which are developing the drug, if they are following the entire good manufacturing practices or not. Good manufacturing practices are involving everything, all the SOPs, standard operational procedures of for all the machineries, all the activities, all the procedures. They have specific SOPs. So if everything is being done following the SOPs, following the GMP or not, or the current GMPs. Okay, so they have to follow everything. So quality assurance means regulatory affairs personnels work closely with the quality assurance teams to ensure the compliance with GMPs. Right, they assist in establishing and maintaining the quality systems, conducting the audits, proper timely audits they conduct to the company, and they check if they are following all the SOPs or not. Right, guys. And then compliance with the international regulations. So as I told, if the companies want to go to the international market, if they want to introduce their drug into different markets like European, or if I'm talking about Indians, or if someone from US, if some company has launched the drug in US and they want to market their drug in India, they have to follow all the CITESCO guidelines. They have to follow all the CITESCO rules and regulations. So their regulatory team will work on that. Okay, the entire landscape of the country and internet or the national regulations, whatever, wherever they want to market the drug. So they have to follow all the compliances, all the compliance to that regulatory body of that country. Right, guys? So compliance with the international regulations. And finally, they take care about the regulatory interactions. Okay, regulatory interactions is nothing but regulatory professionals act as a primary point of contact between the pharmaceutical companies and regulatory authorities. So they only make the entire process done. Okay, so they are the bridge between the company, between the manufacturing team, or between the drug development team, or between the research team and the regulatory bodies, because they are only taking care of the entire thing, and they only address all the inquiries, and they, if it is required to provide additional data, they only provide the additional data and resolve all the regulatory issues asked by the regulatory bodies from the company side. Right, guys? So application of the regulatory affairs are that's all. So this field is dynamic and continuously evolving to meet the ever-changing regulatory landscape, ensuring the development, approval, and post-marketing compliance of the pharmaceutical products. Right, guys? So these are the applications of regulatory affairs. Now let's talk a little bit about key responsibilities. I mean, we have talked already about the key responsibilities also, but let's brief a little. So it encompasses the various activities aimed at obtaining and maintaining the regulatory approvals, okay, and ensuring the compliance. So first of all, regulatory strategies, like people who are regulatory affairs professionals have to make the regulatory strategies, okay, to properly achieve the timely and successful product approvals. Then regulatory submissions. So they are bound to prepare and submit the regulatory documents, right, such as clinical trial applications, marketing authorization applications, and variations or amendments of existing applications. So the people who are looking for the opportunities in regulatory affairs department, it is must to know what they have to do. They can work, they have a lot of applications, they have a lot of responsibilities in in the companies, in the regulatory affairs department, like making the regulatory strategies, okay, and submitting the regulatory submissions. I mean, all the regulatory submissions related work they only have to do, right guys. And then compliance is ensuring adherence to regulatory requirements, including GMPs, as I was telling you, very important it is. GMP is, as I was talking about, is takes place in all the firms, all the facilities, manufacturing facilities and all, for all the machineries, for all the teams, and for all the products which are manufactured in the factory or in the pharmaceutical facilities. So they have to follow the SOPs, standard operation procedures, and that all comes under the compliance. So they have to ensure the adherence of regulatory requirements. And then good clinical practices, good clinical practices takes place when the research is being planned, like how the protocol is being written, what are the aims and objectives, if they're aligning with the regulations or not, and if the ethical approvals are being taken or not, how these people are consenting the patients, if the patient consent and patient's rights are safe or not, right? So those all things will be coming under the compliance of GCPs. And then good pharmacovigilance practices, like during the during conduction of the clinical trial, if there are any adverse events are appearing, if there are any deaths are happening, disabilities are happening due to the new drug, so they take the keen observations, they take care of the entire system, entire pharmacovigilance system, so that those guidelines are called as good pharmacovigilance practices, GVP, right? So these all are taken care by the pharmaceutical regulatory affair professionals, okay. And then they take care of the regulatory intelligence also, like I told you, monitoring and analyzing the changes in regulations. And then they take care of the labeling and packaging. They also take care of the post-marketing surveillance, monitoring the safety and efficacy of marketed pharmaceutical products, managing adverse event reportings, and implementing the risk management plan, okay. And then regulatory interactions, as I told you, like engaging with regulatory authorities such as FDA in United States, in European Medicines Agency in Europe, and addressing their questions and providing additional data or resolving the regulatory issues, okay. And then quality assurance, international regulations. So regulatory affair professionals play a very critical role in bridging the gap between pharmaceutical companies and regulatory authorities, and they are definitely to ensure the product safety, efficacy, and meet all the required quality standards with complying with the application or applicable regulations, right guys? So this is very important. So let's talk now about the hierarchies in regulatory affairs, career opportunities in career RA. So as you are thinking of making your career in regulatory affairs, so regulatory affair peoples are like they can go from the entry level job to the head of regulatory affairs department, or director of the company, or president of the company, okay. Because regulatory affairs department is an independent department, it's an independent career option for healthcare professionals, like pharmacy people, pharmacy people, and MPharm, and for the medical peoples also, people from the MBBS and BDS, they also go to the regulatory department, regulatory affairs, okay. So they also join the regulatory affairs, right? So this is, and other healthcare department people also, like biotechnology, BTech biotechnology, MSc biotechnology, MSc microbiology, biochemistry, they all are eligible to get these jobs. But the best people who can go to the regulatory affairs are medical and pharmacy people, because they have the entire knowledge of drug development, they have the entire knowledge of drugs and their side effects, they have the knowledge of patients, they have the knowledge of ethical considerations, they have the knowledge of GCPs, GMPs, and other aspects, right? So you have multiple careers in that, like from you can join any company as at the entry level as a RA associate or RA assistant, regulatory affairs assistant.
So let's see what are the positions and what are the experiences required. So first is RA assistant or RA assistant, RA associate, your basic entry level job. So there is no experience required. Immediate after M Farm or B Farm or Farm D or MBBS, you can directly go and join the RA assistant as a RA assistant. So RA assistant usually supports the regulatory affairs team on submissions and understanding the role of regulatory affairs department. A level of experience entry, no need of having any specific type of or specific years of experience or qualifications. Okay, because when you are going there, you should understand the regulatory affairs, and you will be getting trained in all the regulatory bodies wherever you are working for. Okay, and that will be project based job, like on which project you are working on. So you'll be learning project based in the companies when you join any kind of company as regulatory associate or regulatory assistant. Then the second thing is RA executive or senior associate or associate manager. So this is also a beginning, working on the projects and supporting the senior leads. Level of experience, directly sometimes the MBBS or MPharm people can directly join as a RA executive also, or senior associates also. But usually if you are BPharm or some graduate, you are at graduate level, you need up to 2 years of experience to join as RA executive or senior associate or associate manager. Okay, and then it is senior executive or manager. So they directly help in the product development and project ownership responsibilities. They are project managers. Okay, so they can work as the project managers, and the experience up to 5 years will be required to get this job in regulatory affairs. Okay, guys. And then principal regulatory affair executive or senior manager. So they also have the product development roles, but they take care of not only the one project but multiple projects, and they take care of the regions, or they take care of the states, or they take care of the sometimes the countries, the country level projects, the multidisciplinary projects, or multi-site projects. They take care of those things. Okay, and the level of experience is somewhere around 5 to 10 years. So my concern here is, like, regulatory affairs is an independent career option. You can choose only regulatory affairs to make your career perfectly in that. Okay, like clinical research, in the clinical research, regulatory affairs is a part of like an independent career option in the clinical research, right, guys? So you can be at any level. And then RA associate director, so they are leading the projects. Okay. So they are leading the projects and drug development, and they are strategizing the teams, they are handling the teams. Level of experience is needed from 12 to 15 years to become the RA associate director. And then after RA associate director, the executive range, RA director and head of RA. So level of experiences will be higher as their roles and responsibilities. So head of RA is like fully accountable of RA strategies, and he is reporting to the CEO or head of R&D or head of the company, right? So these are all the things. Okay, so there is one more important thing I want to tell you guys. So people from clinical research, or from the pharmacovigilance and other domains, they can easily switch to regulatory affairs if they want. Or people from the regulatory affairs, they can easily switch to pharmacovigilance or these compliance or quality assurance. So there is they can easily switch the roles as well, and that experience of RA counts in that. Okay, guys, so that's very important to understand, that you can if you are in some okay, someone's video is on, guys, please off your videos. Okay, right. Okay, so these are the career options in RA, and other than that, this is like the hierarchy in a company, what you are seeing right now, like from RA associate or RA assistant to head of the department or head of the entire setup is the hierarchy. But other than that also, there are multiple career opportunities. Okay, there are multiple career opportunities. Like, see, you can be a regulatory affairs consultant if you are expert of regulatory affairs. See, directly after BPharm, MPharm, or all that, you cannot be the regulatory affairs consultant. But after your retirements, or after your 10 years of experience in regulatory bodies, or after 10 years of experience or 15 years of experience in the company, you can come out and you can start your own regulatory affairs consultancy. Okay, you can start your own regulatory affairs consultancy, and even after graduation also you can start your own regulatory affairs consultancy, but you will take time to grow up. Okay, so by the time you can keep some more people to get guidance or get help to establish in the market. So other than the company also, there are the independent roles and opportunities for regulatory affairs people. Regulatory affairs consultant could be there. So independent consultants or consultants working for counseling firms who provide specialized regulatory expertise and guidance on the guidance to the pharmaceutical companies. They may assist with regulatory submissions, compliance audits, regulatory intelligence, and strategic regulatory planning. So any regulatory affair consultant can help from the basic. If they don't have any kind of regulatory affair department in the companies in starting, because it's quite costly and they have to get the personalized team and all, so they can take the help of regulatory affairs consultant. They can take the help of QBD people, quality consultants or quality assurance people. They can take the help of regulatory affairs consultant to develop the entire setup, or to take the submission process smoothly. They can take the help of experts from outside, the consultants. Okay, and then there are medical writing jobs also in the regulatory. So see, medical writing is the job in different domains. So medical writers also work in the regulatory affairs, and they are especially called as regulatory writers. Okay, medical writers in regulatory affairs department are called as regulatory writers. So they are not the simple writers. They are not the simple medical scientific writers. They are developing the protocols, they are developing the dossiers, they are developing the study reports, they are developing the brochures, the investigative brochures. They are developing all the documents which are related to the regulatory bodies, the submission dossiers. Okay, so medical writers in regulatory affairs also, they have the independent kind of roles and responsibilities. So their role is writing the regulatory documents such as clinical study reports, investigative brochures, regulatory dossiers, and product labeling, adhering to regulatory requirement and guidelines, right? And then quality assurance and compliance specialist. Outside also, being a consultant or being a specialist of quality assurance also, you can help companies in their GMP practices, preparing their standard operation procedures, and helping them complying with good clinical practices and other quality standards. Okay, and then you can be a trainer. You can be a trainer, you can be a corporate trainer or institutional trainer. You can train the people on regulatory affairs. You can train the corporate peoples or teams of the companies in regard to the regulatory compliances, right guys? So these were the work opportunities for regulatory affairs, and the professionals or the people or the students who wants to go to regulatory affairs, right? These are the companies. Every CRO, almost every CRO and every pharmaceutical company have the regulatory affairs professionals. Okay, you can see here Accenture, AstraZeneca, Biocon, Cadila, Bayer, Cognizant, Cipla, or these Fortis, Jenny, SCL, Ligate, Glenmark, or these GSK, Merck, Panexel. They all rose, Pfizer, TCS, Zydus. So these all PPDs, Novartis, Novo Nordisk, these all companies have heavy raining is there, guys. So no problem. Avoid the background raining noise. Okay. So these all companies hire the RA professionals. Okay. These all companies hire the RA professionals. So with that, I'll take the break from this class right now and open for the questions, guys. Thank you. I hope you understood the basics. I wanted to convey the basics about the regulatory affairs, the jobs, roles and responsibilities of and applications of regulatory affairs in the pharmaceutical industry. I hope you understood. And if you have any questions, please ask me, guys. Thank you. Yes, guys, please. Any questions for me here? You can listen to the background.
गए घूमते घूमते पट्ट पूरा।
Ankita, please mute your mic. Yes, please, you can join the certification course. Wait, I'll just share the link. One sec. One sec. Okay, yes. So, someone has the question here. Okay, let me see the question here. Sir, is B Farm enough to have a good career growth in RA? Yes, definitely. See, being a B Farm, you can join as RA assistant. Okay, you can join as a RA assistant, and definitely for sure, you have a wonderful career option in RA. As a RA assistant, you can join and you can grow up to any level. You can get you can get trained in multiple things when you are in the corporate. Corporate. So you'll be getting the experience. It will definitely take a little more time than the people who are more expert, but definitely there are the entry level jobs for B farms as well. Okay, B farms also can go to the entry level jobs. Yes, farmers are absolutely they can join. So here is the link to join the course. Here's the link to join the course, guys. Okay. Okay, so some more questions here. Farmers definitely farmers are one of the best people to join the regulatory affairs because they have the knowledge of CG, they have the knowledge of ICH GCP, they have the knowledge of regulations, they have the knowledge of the drug development, they have the knowledge of clinical trials, and they have worked in the hospitals. They have the knowledge of pharmacokinetics, pharmacodynamics, multiple things. So they can help. They are the best people to go to the regulatory affairs. So is there only single position for every hierarchy in every company? Is there only single position? Yes. See, hierarchy means the CEOs and all are having only one position, but the managers are multiple. Okay, managers are multiple. There is no only one manager. There are multiple managers, multiple project managers, because there are thousands of the projects going on in big companies. There are multiple projects are going on, so there are the needs of many people as many because for different states, different projects, different domains. Like suppose I'm telling you the example of Novartis is not only preparing the diabetic medications, they are preparing, I mean, they are manufacturing diabetic medications, they are preparing, manufacturing dermatology medicines. They are also into the cardiac medications. They are also into the rheumatoid arthritis medications. So multiple type of medications. So every medication, every drug development, every clinical trial needs the project manager and the entire team of regulatory affairs. Okay, so parallelly there are multiple people working in the regulatory affairs department in any company. Okay, so not only one, but yes, definitely CEO and all will be one, but this RA assistant So sorry guys, I think I lost my network in between because it's heavy raining. It's heavily raining here, heavily raining. You can hear. Okay, so I'm so sorry. Can I get the questions again? Let me see. Oh, I lost all the questions here. Can you please write the questions again, or someone tell me what were the questions? I lost all the questions. Disadvantage of the rain, guys. Okay, questions, please. I know that there were some questions, but I am not getting now. What were the questions, guys? Please ask your questions. Please write your questions. After the, okay, Ashish Kumar has the question from YouTube. After the PV 2 years experience, how can we enter into regulatory affairs and it's good then PVC? I will not comment on like whether it is good or bad. Okay, but definitely both pharmacovigilance and regulatory affairs has their own scope. Okay, they have their own independent scope. So see, it's not necessary to switch from pharmacovigilance to RA, but it depends on you where you see like, okay, if you want to see guys, internally also in companies, internally also you can switch from RA to PV or PV to RA. It's very easy. Okay, so if you think you are not made to work in PV, you can switch to RA, or if you think like you are not in RA, you can switch to PV. So it's very important. Quality assurance also. Okay. To join RA, need any of course after MPharm in Sutix? See, it is better if you have some 3 or 4 months or 6 months or some certificate courses in regulatory affairs, because it will give you the glance of regulatory affairs or guidelines, and you will be understanding the things like how to face such questions, how to face such RA related questions in the interview. That's very important. To have the value added knowledge is very important. Additional knowledge is very important for the interviews. Okay. Eligibility criteria for RA after PharmD, no need. If you are PharmD, you are eligible to go and work in RA, regulatory affairs. No specific eligibility criteria is needed. Yes, definitely. MPharm pharmacology people also can join RA. You see, you are healthcare professionals. Okay, you are healthcare professionals, and you have the basic knowledge of regulatories. You have the basic knowledge of drug development. You have the basic knowledge of jurisprudence. So definitely, yes, you can go to the RA field. Sir, what is the criteria to work in RA field in other countries? See, the criteria to work in RA field in other countries, as per my knowledge, as in EMA or all, you must have some knowledge, basic knowledge of EMA and drug development process and international regulations. So for that, better if you choose some 6-month or 1-year course from that specific region. Like if you're going to Europe or if you are going to USA, then do some 6-month or 1-year course in regulatory affairs from that country. Or if you are doing that, if you are done MPharm in regulatory affairs from India or somewhere, you can directly enter into that. If you are specialized in RA from India, you can directly enter to the EMA or FDA, or you can directly start working with FDA or European or American companies. Okay. Career path for MD pharmacology graduation. Yes, definitely. Wonderful. It is wonderful. See, extra is on regulations. It is very important, literally, because see, if someone with simple B Pharm or PharmD or simple MD pharmacology is going to the interviewer with the person who is having basic B Pharm, M Pharm or MD pharmacology and a 6-month RA course or a certificate RA course, then definitely the advantage will be with that guy with the additional certificate or additional knowledge, because they have the specialized knowledge in RA. Okay, they have the specialized updated knowledge in RA. See, you being a B Pharm, you have understood, you have read, you have studied only whatever was given in the syllabus, okay, given in the curriculum. But the person who is doing the additional courses or who is gaining the additional knowledge from such value added courses and all, they will be more quite knowledgeable, and there are the high chances of those people to get the job in industry. And for anyone, yeah. What is the scope of working as RA professional in India after pursuing MS in regulatory affairs from USA? Means you are cracking all the ways. You are cracking all the ways. You can definitely work in India as project manager directly. Definitely. Is there any source available on the internet to improve regulatory intelligence? Regulatory intelligence. Right now, I'm not sure. Literally, right now, I'm literally not sure. Like. For the regulatory intelligence, but in next class definitely I'll be come up with the knowledge with this regulatory intelligence. Okay, guys. In next class we'll be talking about regulatory intelligence for sure. See, I'm not the regulatory affairs guy, frankly, but I love learning new things, and I am loving learning the regulatory affairs for last few months. Okay, and that's why I'm able to take this session today. I hope I'll be, I'll not be taking the entire session on regulatory affairs. I have called some experts also to take from the industry to take your RA sessions. Don't worry, okay? But I hope I justified with today's session, guys. Even not being from the regulatory affairs side. Even after gaining experience in RA, doing MS in RA, will it be advantages? We always see additional knowledge, additional degrees are always advantages. Always advantages. Okay, guys. So, any more questions? If not, then thank you and take care. Thank you for joining, guys. Take care. Take care. Bye-bye, guys. Bye-bye. Yes. Thank you. Take care, guys. Take care.